bills main care, which is what we call Medicaid, about $5 million a year. Oh no, those illegal immigrants are getting any Medicare. And then he said he raised money in the U.S. to buy weapons, munitions, and supplies for a paramilitary force he had hoped to lead as the president of Jubaland. Yes, that's a real state in Somalia. And to be clear, in Somalia, he's running to be the warlord of Jubaland. Elections in Jubaland aren't exactly like elections in America. It's whoever has the most guns is able to certify the election. So he needed to buy a paramilitary organization and paramilitary support in order to win the election. Avocados Diablias asked if you could bring any one comic strip character to life and train them to be a hitman, who would you choose? Oh, that's the easiest question ever. Calvin. Calvin. Oh, look, Somnambule Nation, you and I are on the same page. Calvin. From Calvin and Hobbes. Yes. And by God, Calvin would be the greatest hitman to ever live. Better than John.
Stand by.
I guarantee
the program will begin soon.
I didn't have to think about that.
Yes, it's true. The Obama administration deported over 3 million people. And the Biden administration, over 4 million people. But they didn't need troops. They didn't need military in the streets to do it. Tell me why. Put it in the chat. Tell me why you think that's that.
Because when Obama and Biden were in office, there were no riots in the streets of Los Angeles, even though 80% of the deportations were also expedited with no hearing. But you didn't give a shit then. Now that Trump's in office, you suddenly give a shit. Hope that helps.
That turkey was amazing, mostly because I cooked it, because I'm really good at cooking turkey. So one of my tricks new tricks that I do, you know how when you cook a turkey in a pan, even if you got one of those raised pans, it always happens. You cook this turkey and the breast of the turkey get all nice, the top gets all nice and brown, and then you go to cut the underside and the thighs and legs are like all white underneath and not even done. Well, there's a trick you can do to avoid that. What you do is you cook the bird upside down for at least 1/3 of the cooking time. So you end up browning the bottom and sealing that first, even more so. And the other thing I do is I start my oven at 500 degrees. The first 45 minutes to an hour, you put it at 500 degrees, and then you turn it down to 325 and do the rest of the cooking. But anyway, do it upside down, and 1/3 of the way through, then you flip the bird back over in the pan, and the entire bird gets finished at the same time. So apparently, in the Europe, you can refer to Americans as pigs, but not convicted rapists. The German court gives a woman harsher punishment than convicted. I hate it when people say rapist. I'll just say unwanted sexual activity peoples for calling him a disgraceful pig. She called someone convicted of that crime a disgraceful pig and got a harsher punishment than the person who actually committed unwanted sexual activity. And so that's why people were posting that story about the German court gives women harsher punishment than convicted unwanted sexual activity.
Stand by.
There's a story about this man too.
soon.
He led the attack on Pearl Harbor, but died a Christian missionary on December 7th, 1941. Captain Mitsuo Fuchida flew the lead plane against Pearl Harbor, shouting the famous code, Tora, Tora, Tora. He hated America. But after the war, he met a former American POW, Jacob DeSager, who had returned to Japan not to punish him, but to preach the gospel. Shocked by this forgiveness, Puccini bought a Bible and converted to Christianity in 1950. The man who started the Pacific War spent the rest of his life touring the U.S. and Japan preaching, quote, "I was a follower of the sword. Now I'm a follower of the cross." Nearly 5 years after pipe bombs were discovered outside the headquarters of the Democratic National Committee and the Republican National Committee in Washington, D.C., a suspect has been arrested in the case. On Thursday, federal agents arrested Brian Cole Jr., 30 of Woodbridge, Virginia, and he was charged with transportation of explosive devices, blah, 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 blah. But on Friday, legacy media outlets began reporting that Cole, this young black man right here, was a Trump supporter. And I'm not saying he's not because he's black. I'm just saying there's other evidence that might support the fact that he's not a Trump supporter. But we'll get to that. Quote, Brian Cole worked for a bail bonds company run by his father that worked to free illegal immigrants from ICE facilities and sued the Trump administration's Department of Homeland Security. He worked for his dad. They tried to free illegal immigrants. Interesting. Yes, I know every Trump supporter, every black supporter, Trump supporter, would be quick to hire Benjamin Crump, who represented the family of Trayvon Martin, attempting to stick the Biden administration Department of Justice on a local Tennessee prosecutor who had raised concerns about the bail bond companies. We'll find out eventually that this guy had wanted nothing to do with that.
Ding, how the bells, sweet silver bells, all seem to say, throw cares away. Christmas is here, bringing good cheer to young and old, meek and the bold. Ding dong, ding dong, that is the song. Ding, drove a ring, dong, caroling. One seems to hear words of good cheer from everywhere, filling the air. Oh, how they pound, raising the sound. Oh, hail and deal, telling their tone. Gaily they ring, while people sing songs of good cheer. Christmas is here. Ding, merry dong, that is the song. Merry, joyful, merry Christmas. On they send, on without end, their joyful tone to every home. Hark how the bells, sweet silver bells, all seem to say, throw cares away. Christmas is here, bringing good cheer to young and old, meek and the bold. Ding dong, that is the song. Ding, joyful ring, dong, caroling. One seems to hear words of good cheer from everywhere, filling the air. Oh, how they pound, raising the sound. Oh, hail and deal, telling their tone. Gaily they ring, while people sing songs of good cheer. Christmas is here. Merry dong, that is the song. Merry, joyful, merry Christmas. On they send, on without end, their joyful tone to every home. On they send, on without end, their joyful tone to every home. Ding dong, ding dong, dong.
Ding president, ding president, ding president, ding president. I gotta run, I gotta run, I gotta run, I gotta run. I work at Burger King, I make flavor whoppers, wear a paper hat. Do you want an apple pie with that? Do you want an apple pie with that? Ding president, ding president, ding president, ding president. Ding. Fries are done. What? Look, I'm standing out here in the cold. You guys are all inside. I'm out here freezing my, you know what, off. Really?
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way, but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, the one and only PDawgKnight.
Ding President, I better not say that out loud. It's too early in the show, but hey, happy Thursday. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as PDawgKnight on the internet. Welcome back to the Dawg Knight Channel, where I got to break out that Christmas song every year, and I kind of enjoy it. I hope you do too. The question was that recorded in multiple years? No, actually, it was recorded in 2 days. I did the music did the recording of the music one day, and I did the first one, the one out in the wilderness guy, Marty, up the upper left-hand corner, that same day. And then I recorded the other three, the video part of it, the next day. I darkened my beard for that first one, and then I just did shaving different parts of my face, to make it work. So like, and the one in the lower left hand corner when I sang the bass part, that one I just made it into a goatee and just let it natural color. And then I did the other two just as they went down. So, and yes, whoever said my smooth face Marty is weird. Yeah, well, you're weird too. So there, everybody's weird. So anyway, happy Thursday, FTG Thursday. I got a few of those, and I didn't get a whole lot of articles open. I'm scrolling through here during that, but I wanted to make sure I started close to half past the hour since I'm late again. So anyway. Let's say hi to everybody and get this thing going. But I don't know who came here first though, because I didn't really look at the chat yet. So let me just scroll up here. Oh, first in the chat today. Oh, well. First in the chat today is Kara Soldier. Yeah, you get the bell. You were here first. Well done. Nice way to be attentive. Also, good morning, Louie. Oh my God, what happened there? You see, you're not sure if I can really sing. Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. See, I can't sing that low. Anyway, also good morning, Gunfox61, our amazing administrator of the PDawgKnight is Discord server. Avocados Diablo's in the house. Also, Jinx, our young friend, aka Midnight, Blue-Eyed Screams in the house. Maniac Man, another appearance. I'm so glad to hear you again. Oh, cool. I'm here early for once in a long time. Yeah, it's been a while since we saw you on the regular. Also, good morning, Mike Savage, Blarg. Let's see, who else is here? I'm scrolling. Midnight in Exile, nice to have you back. JB's in the house. What up? Darren Root, what's up? Good morning. I'm still John. Oh, that's me, Johnny Boomertech. Oh, did I just reveal something? Anyway, Skello8, the fantastic, the brother of Ms. Wildwolf, right? Am I getting this right? I get these. I'm not sure who's who. Their whole family watches. I love it, but I always forget if I don't see him often. Anyway, also, and speaking of Ms. Wildwolf, she's here too. What up? And scrolling down more, there's a lot of people here. Like that, the couple of faces I don't see that often, and I'm glad you're here. Okay, that's Taco Pack is here. What up? Good morning. And I think that's it. I think I got everybody. If I missed you, just put "you missed me" in the chat. That'll work. So there you go. 19 people are here. 5 likes. Come on. This just hurts. That just hurts. Come on. hit the like button, share the stream, and all that shit. Speaking of sharing the stream, I think a few of you have already done that. Where's my what the hell did I do there? Let's get it's supposed to be notifications. Oh, I don't have the holiday calendar up either. Hang on a second here. Holiday. Oh, holiday. Doom 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 celebrate. Wait a minute. What the hell's why can't I type? Jesus, Marty, come on. There we go. All right, we'll put that over here so I can get to that next. I don't have any special celebrity mentions today, but the people who share the stream, I greatly appreciate. Oh my God. Oh my God. What the hell is that? Holy, wait, what? Okay, hang on. Just you're gonna, if you haven't seen what I'm talking about, you're going to, and you're gonna be like, what the hell is that? Anyway, thank you, Ms. Wild Wolf, for sharing the stream. As you can see, posted the stream on her own because she is the most awesome one. Also, JB with another Yakuza movie. Feel like what's in that bouquet of Oh, it's a gun. There's that bouquet of birds of paradise flowers. Let's go. Thank you, Miss Wildwolf, reposting my let's go. And also, your own let's go. Oh, another gift. You are just the gift queen now. You're now Miss Wildwolf, the gift queen. There you go. Oh, you can't see? What do you mean you cannot see? What can't you see? Oh, say, can you see? Everyone else can see it. Okay, Sound Humble Nation also posting the show. Greatly appreciate it. And here's what I was looking at. I want to find out what this is. So clearly Gary Busey has let himself go. What is that on his hat? Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Oh, that's a movie. If you've ever heard that. This is Sound Humble Nation. You're the one who gave me this? Okay, Gary Busey. Breaking news from Gary Busey, especially for Cannibalistic Wizard. So let's find out what this is. I'm curious. A special message from Gary Busey, especially for Cannibalistic Wizard. Nah, he always looked like that. No. Well, no, he didn't look completely batshit crazy and homeless. He looked partially batshit crazy and homeless, but he's definitely looking batshit crazy and homeless. Now, let's see what he has to say, though. I mean, ever since the motorcycle accident, I shouldn't make fun of him. I'm not making fun of him. I'm just telling you what he looks like. But ever since that motorcycle accident, it's just what it is. Okay, here we go. New game. Gary Busey or Crackhead? Yes. Yes. Okay, here's the message.
Hey, it's Gary Busey.
Shit, that fucking scared me. I'm not kidding. I went to get close to the screen. He goes, hey, and I'm like, oh shit. Jesus Christ. All right, I'm gonna play it again because look, here's what I want you to do. Everyone, whatever kind of screen you look on, if it's on your phone, if it's on your TV, if it's on computer monitor, go get real close to the screen right now. Like, look Gary Busey right in the eyes, and then listen to the beginning of this. It's gonna even after you already know it's coming, it's gonna startle you. Here we go.
Hey,
it's
Gary Busey.
No
and
shit.
I have got a great Christmas present for you.
Okay.
Listen to this.
What you got?
That's what a goose sounds like when they're flying. They let you know they're up there.
What the hell did you put out here?
You get a bunch of geese together. They're hawking in the air.
What was that? Oh my gosh. Look, I live in Minnesota where we get so many freaking Canadian geese everywhere here. We call them flying rats. I mean, they're just fucking everywhere. They're a pain in the ass. But anyway, yeah, thank you, Gary Busey. I don't know what I would have done without that this morning. Holy moly. Okay. Hello, Sound Humble Nation. I had to see it. Now you have to as well. You're so very welcome. Yeah, that's beautiful. All right, back to let's see, anyone else sharing the stream? Yeah, Sound Humble Nation, Ms. Wild Wolf, and JB, thank you for doing that. What's this? I don't care about that. And Green Badger Outdoors did something there, so there you go. All right, thank you, everybody sharing the stream. Greatly appreciate it. Let's talk about today's holidays. What should we celebrate today? Oh, good Lord. Oh, good Lord. Now, these things get really specific. Oh, I need to change there is no Streamlabs Superstar sponsor today. Let me restart that. I keep forgetting to do that because, well, anyway, you'll figure it out. Here, let's try this. Does that change it back? No, it doesn't. Okay, well, the first person who donates to the show will be the Streamlabs Superstar sponsor today. Oh, I see. Wait, hang on. Let me go along here. Well, good morning to the Pope, Tyrannius III, the Blessed Lich. No message of hope today yet, though. I don't see it. Or did I miss it? Did I miss it? I see you here. Yo, fam, to you too. Well, you don't have to do it. Don't feel obligated. Don't feel obligated to do a message of the day. You don't have to every day. I do appreciate when you do, though. Okay, holidays. Wait, what's this? What? National Hard Candy Day, is it? Well, let's look at my holiday calendar. Let's let's just use the official calendar here. So I don't understand this. Answer the telephone like Buddy the Elf Day. I'm not understanding that. Hello, Green Badger Outdoors. How you doing? Answer the telephone like Buddy, like if it's Santa or something. Santa! Is that what they mean? I have no idea. Spread your holiday cheer and answer the phone like everyone's favorite elf, Buddy. Make answer telephone like Buddy the Elf Day one to remember. That would be funny though. It'd be kind of like seeing Gary Busey. You know, so you call somebody calls you, and you answer like Buddy. Oh, Santa! And that would freak him out. By the way, today's coffee is brought to you by. You can't really see it. Holly Jolly. It's metallic and shit. You can't really see it. Okay, and then it's National Twin Day. If you know any twins, I work with a pair of twins. I didn't know it was National Twins Day. I would have said, hey, happy Twins Day. Although in Minnesota, every day is Twins Day because the Minnesota Twins are here. So there you go. We're the Twin Cities. So it's happy Twin Cities. Bake Cookies Day. Yeah, you better get them Christmas cookies baking. You got to get them Christmas cookies baking because you know people coming over. Like all you people doing like an early family Christmas on this weekend, right? You got to have some cookies ready. And then for Christmas, you got to get cookies ready for Santa. Bake them damn cookies. Also, wear a plunger on your head day. Someone said that in the chat. I was like, what? But it is. Wear a plunger on your head day? Why? That's really weird and gross, especially if it's like a toilet plunger. Don't put a plunger on your head. That's nasty. Don't put any plungers anywhere near, and make sure you sanitize after you use a plunger, by the way. National Deborah Day, don't care. National Get Your Girlfriend Coffee Day. Yeah, my wife wouldn't appreciate that. National Roast Suckling Pig Day. That's very specific. And why on today? Why on December 18th would it be National Roast Suckling Pig Day? Whatever. Arabic Language Day. Well, I'll use the Arabic numeral system, but I'm not ready to learn Arabic. International Migrants Day. We have some migrants. We'd like to send them home. Anyway, National Jeremy Day and then National Twins Day. Double National Twins Day because up here it's National Twin Day, but down here it's National Twins Day. So I'm curious. Is National Twin Day is the day a twin celebrates the other twin? And then National Twins Day is when everybody else celebrates them? I don't know. Anyway, all right, enough of that. Let's get into some news. In the featured news today, when I hit the old button that says Explore X, the app formerly known as Twitter. This is the first one that came up. Boston man. Oh, now this is great because I'm pretty sure the media framed it this way. Okay, framed this way. Boston men charged in $7 million SNAP fraud scheme. Now, I immediately, out of, I don't know, maybe it was my own racism or something, immediately assumed that they might be Somali. And I was wrong. Antonio Bonheur, 74, and Saul Elisme, 21, both from Haiti, face charges trafficking nearly $7 million in SNAP benefits through their undersized Boston stores, Jesla Variety, and Saul Mache Mixe, whatever that is. This is some French shit because they speak French in Haiti. Despite minimal food stock and shared space. Oh, they're in the same space. Monthly redemptions reached $100,000 to $500,000, far exceeding nearby supermarkets. Undercover buys confirmed they traded benefits for cash and sold unauthorized items like liquor, and liquor. But now I lost my page. Liquor Okay, that's it. U.S. Attorney Leah Foley called it a direct abuse of taxpayer funds meant to fight hunger, while Governor Healy noted her office flagged issues in November 2024. Oh, she's just covering her ass. No longer conspiracy. Here's the Wall Street Apes post. No longer conspiracy theory. U.S. Attorney confirms shops are being set up with the sole purpose of exchanging SNAP benefits for cash. Multiple fake stores, one as small as 150 square feet, cashing out as much as $480,000 in EBT per month. Holy shitballs. Whatever, you know? Oh, by the way, no, not Somalia. They're Haitian. Yeah, but I like the fact that the headline is Boston men. Are these Haitian immigrants or Haitian? Well, I don't know. They might be immigrants, but it might be time to revoke their citizenship if they did. Anyway, $7 million of food stamps turned into cash at 2 locations, less than 150 square feet size, smaller than some bathrooms. Stores had 1 register, no carriages, no food bags. Carriages, East Coast carriages, they call the shopping carts carriages. Do you know? Okay, so I did a video about this once, because in the South they call these shopping carts buggies, right? In the East Coast they call them carriages. In most of the rest of the country they call them shopping carts, but some places call them shopping baskets. You know, it's just one of those weird things that people call different things. Hello, Lord Stanhope, how you doing? Anyway, so let's her say it for herself.
We are announcing federal charges against 2 men, Antonio Bonner and Saul Elisme, for large-scale SNAP benefit trafficking, a scheme that turned a program designed to feed families into a multi-million-dollar criminal enterprise.
Okay.
SNAP benefits are also known as food stamps. The defendants are charged with 1 count of food stamp fraud. 1 count?
Wait.
These men abused one of the government.
1 count? See, now look, if this had been Donald Trump, they would have been charged 1 count for each transaction. Because, like, you know, that what do you call it? The one, the business records one, he was reimbursing Michael Cohen for the legal expenses of because it's funny, they say, oh, this is you categorized it. Well, isn't a payment for a non-disclosure agreement, isn't that a legal expense? I don't understand how they can't call that a legal expense. But anyway, but there was, it was a series of checks that he wrote for to reimburse Michael Cohen, and they gave him 1 count for all 34 checks. That's how they got the 34 felonies. It's really just 1 charge. But in this case, she said 1 count of whatever fraud. So I'm confused why they didn't, stockpile up a bunch of charges, more than 1, multiple counts. But anyway.
Government's most critical safety net programs for their own financial gain. This is taxpayer money meant to keep people from going hungry. These defendants decided to take it for themselves. These defendants exchanged SNAP benefits for cash, which they pocketed. Bonner, a national.
Well, now I'm confused. So they had the store, so because when they run them through after they pay cash to the people who got them, or they got them from, then they would get the money from SNAP, the transaction. So they would sell them for cash, but for more than they buy them for less than they were worth for cash. But then they would bring in the cash, the deposit from SNAP. Anyway,
naturalized U.S. citizen from Haiti owned the Jesuela Variety Store. Elise May, a lawful permanent resident also from Haiti, owned the Saul Mache Mixe Store. These 2 businesses were co-located.
Yes, they have concept. That's what I was trying to say. They paid pennies on the dollar and then got a full reimbursement.
Storefront in Boston. To be certain, these were not supermarkets. They were not full-service groceries.
I mean, $500,000 a month. I'd be hard-pressed to see if there's an actual grocery store that does that much in food stamps in a month. I'd be shocked. $500,000 a month. Holy shit.
It would be a huge stretch to even call them convenience stores. In fact, the only thing convenient about these stores
The fraud.
was how easy it was to commit SNAP benefit fraud. To put this
Funny thing about that too. So Maura Healey, the governor of Massachusetts, is quick to say, "Oh my gosh, we alerted about this in November." What did you do about it? Just curious, Mara. What did you do about it, Mara? Biatch.
in perspective, the Jesuela Variety Store is less than 150 square feet in size, smaller than some bathrooms. The Saul Mache Mixe
10 by 5, 150 square feet. 10 by 5. Think about that. Okay. 10 by 5. That's 150 square feet. Oh yeah, they did a $500,000 a month of that bad boy.
Store was approximately 500 square feet in space. By contrast, a supermarket can be 20,000 to 60,000 square feet in size, have a dozen or more registers, and employ numerous employees. Both the Jesuela Variety and Saul Mache.
Oh, that's 50. You're right. That is 50 square feet. 10 by 15. My bad. 10 by 15. Still 10 by 15. 10 by 50. Shit.
Mixe stores had one register, no carriages, no hand baskets, and very little food for sale.
Carriages. Would that have confused you had I not explained that ahead of time? No carriages. That's what they call a shopping cart in Boston. In Boston, they call it a shopping cart.
One legitimate supermarket
carriage.
in the same area as these stores redeems approximately $80,000 in SNAP benefits per month.
A grocery
Over
store,
the last
a
20
full-size
months,
store.
The Jesuela Variety Store was redeeming between 3 and 6 times that amount monthly.
Jesus Christ.
With nowhere near the space, inventory.
Ooh, a bug. Oh, good Lord. Is that what they call them in your part of neck of Wisconsin there, Ms. Wildwolf? A shopping buggy? That's a Southern thing, because we're making fun of people calling them buggies. Anyway.
Customers.
Or are you from the South originally and you're like a displaced Southerner? Because nobody in the North calls them buggies. No one in Wisconsin calls them a buggy. Come on now.
Infrastructure.
Oh, your cousin in Arizona. Yeah. See, Arizona, Texas, New Mexico, Georgia, Alabama, all them southern states. The whole southern, what do you call it? The whole band of southern states, except for Florida. They call them shopping carts in Florida, but everywhere else.
To support it. The Saul Mache Mixe store redeemed over $120,000 in SNAP benefits in the last 6 months. Simply put, there is no plausible way.
Simply put, they're lying motherfuckers. Yeah.
SNAP eligible food could have been purchased from these stores for this long.
Well, but there was a benefit to the people who sold their SNAP cards. They got cash. They could get cash and buy some liquor.
Yet, these two stores are alleged to have illicitly
at the liquor store. Liquor store. That's where I go buy a bottle of Jack Daniels. At the liquor store.
Trafficked nearly $7 million in SNAP benefits.
So anyway, yeah, how about that? How about that? Now I'm curious. There's got to be
announcing federal charges against 2 men.
Up.
Antonio.
I just wonder how prevalent this is in this country. It's not. Look, I'm guaranteeing you, it's not just immigrants either. There's some good old fashioned just American motherfuckers doing this shit too. But this is so blatant, and maybe they just think because in where they came from, the shitholes, they could get away with it because there's no regulation. But they're gonna get found here. I'm just saying. Good morning, Septus Wolf. I think that's that is Septus Wolf, the Carfalis. I know who that is. Good morning. How you doing? All right, so there you go. That was the lead story. Now another story in the that just popped up. Inflation cool. falls to 2.7% in November, below the forecast. Consumer Price Index climbed 2.7% from a year ago earlier in. Now, wait a minute. That's interesting how they put that, because here's the thing. It's just a comparison to the prior year. So it doesn't mean that it climbed. If, for example, last month was 3, it depends on what. Well, anyway, I mean, it's up from a year ago, but it's interesting they say climbed from a year ago, early in November, down from 3% in September, and under economists' prediction of 3.1%. Core inflation, including food and energy, hit 2.6%, the lowest since March 2021. While shelter costs eased to 3% and food rose 2.6%, released after an October government shutdown delayed data collection. The report cheered markets, lifted stock futures, and Bitcoin above 89,000. You remember there was a story when Bitcoin first came out. It was fairly new, and the guy, I think, who invented it, he was getting a pizza or something, and he gave like 8 Bitcoins to the pizza guy, and the guy's like, okay, well, we'll see. And now, if those 8 Bitcoins would be like worth $1 million or something like that, like, or $800,000. I don't know what it was, but anyway, yeah, that's crazy. Bitcoin's at 89,000 per. And then it also fueled hopes for Federal Reserve rate cuts in 2026 to help homeowners. So, breaking: U.S. inflation falls to 2.7%, lower than expectations. Now, there is some controversy because some people don't believe it. They're saying that the administration's cooking the book. But, now someone here says, now some CPI observations. This is Ernie Tedeschi. The recent cooling in housing inflation, rent, and OER accelerated significantly in October and November. 3M CPI housing inflation was 1.6% annualized versus 3.8% 3 months ago. This will show up in PCE too, but it is so sharp we should wait for more data to confirm. Well, it looks like the trend has been down, so that's interesting. Someone says virtually all excess core CPI inflation, the components that are hotter than we expected if we were at the Fed's target, stem from goods at this point this year. Goods at this point year on year. Housing dwindled to 0, and other services pieces were very small. Look, me paying attention to housing markets and stuff. You're probably going to see a bit of you're going to see a drop in housing prices as far as real estate, like purchase real estate, because demand's down, because interest rates were up and stuff, and there's a bunch of other factors that a couple of real estate agents I was talking to. Yeah, it's going to slow. So that's interesting, but so there's skeptics, I guess, of some things, but anyway, that's good news. That it was lower than expected, and so there you go. That's that story. Also, this is another one. This is one of the top feature stories. Unvaccinated share COVID health stories years later. So a question asked unvaccinated people how often they got COVID, drawing replies of no infections or mild cases despite exposure. Critics highlighted survivorship bias, noting that those who died from the virus aren't sharing stories. Studies show vaccine reduced severe risk, like a French analysis of 28 million adults finding 74% lower mortality for mRNA vaccinated people over 4 years, and CDC data indicating 30 to 50 times higher infection and death risk for the unvaccinated during peaks. Today, December 25th or 2025, COVID cases run low while pandemic divides linger. So, I personally, I am one of those who was unvaccinated because I got COVID just before the vaccines came out. So it made no sense for me to get it that time. And then by the time I was supposed to consider it, which I wasn't anyway, because my wife had too many problems both times she got the shots. I got to tell you, I got it one more time. It was a very mild case, and I haven't had any hint of it since. Did I see the news article about the jab I put on Discord? Well, no, I didn't. Let's see if I can find that. Give me a second. Discord. Is it? I'm assuming it's in the news section. Why isn't my Discord popping up? What the bloody hell? Okay, there we go. Health returns. FDA adds a strong safety warning to COVID. Okay, well, let's read this since we're talking about COVID. Visit site. What? Yeah, that's fine. Open it up. Damn it. Here we go. I'll put this next to that little section there. FDA may add its strongest safety warning to COVID vaccines. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Food and Drug Administration may add its strongest safety warning to COVID shots, marking another major shift in vaccine oversight. It could expand a string of actions by the Trump administration health officials that some health experts say could weaken confidence in the shots. Oh, gee, I wonder if you could make it any weaker right now. Which have saved millions of lives worldwide since they were introduced. Uptake of those vaccines is already plummeting. The National Foundation for Infectious Diseases, citing IQVIA data, said last week that there has been a 27% decrease in COVID vaccinations from retail pharmacies since 2024. Yeah, well, like, for example, my wife had, like, she got called it COVID arm both times she got the shot, and it was really like her whole arm puffed up and stuff. She's like, I don't want to do that again. And look, I don't know. It's like, why is it that you need 71 COVID shots? It's like that doesn't make it a vaccine. You know what I mean? Although I suppose flu vaccine they do every year. But anyway, here's what we know so far. The FDA is preparing to add what's known as a black box warning to COVID vaccines by the end of the year. CNN first reported on Friday. That plan, which is not finalized, is being driven by Dr. Vinay Prasad, the FDA's chief medical and scientific officer and director of the agency's Center for Biologics Evaluation and Research. That type of label isn't used lightly. It appears at the top of a medicine's prescribing information and is designed to warn about risks such as death or serious injuries that should be weighed against the product's benefits. For example, box warnings on opioids warn about risks of addiction, overdose, and death. But there are still a lot of unanswered questions here. First of all, the Health and Human Services Department did not confirm any of the plans today. In a statement to CNBC, HHS spokesman Andrew Nixon said, unless the FDA announces it, any claim about what it will do is pure speculation. So this is speculation? They don't know for sure? Why are they reporting on this? HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., a prominent vaccine skeptic, and some of his appointments have previously targeted mRNA COVID shots from Pfizer and Moderna. But Novavax also offers a protein-based COVID vaccine. It's also unclear if this warning will only apply to certain age groups and what issue the label will point to. Because, again, I don't know that they could say that it was effective for young people because young people weren't dying from COVID anyway that much. I mean, there were some, but young people, as many. Well, I'm not going to make any claims. Never mind. I'm not going to make any claims because this is YouTube and you can't make claims. I'm not going to make any claims. But so anyway, thank you, Ms. Wawa, for giving me that article. I appreciate that. All right, moving on. Oh wait, do I have that under twice? No, that's inflation. That's okay. I'm gonna put these right next to each other. Here's one that is interesting. Oh, they changed the headline already because this is more accurate. Dan Bongino. You know Dan Bongino, right? Dan Bongino is going to be leaving the FBI. Deputy FBI Director Dan Bongino plans to leave the bureau next month Bongino posted his farewell announcement on X on Wednesday. Bongino's message came soon after President Donald Trump hinted at Bongino's departure in comments made on the tarmac of Joint Base Andrews, saying of Bongino, "I think he wants to go back to his show." Quote, "I will be leaving my position with the FBI in January. I want to thank President Trump, AG Bondi, and Director Patel for the opportunity to serve with purpose. More importantly, I want to thank you, my fellow Americans, for the privilege to serve. God bless America and all those who defend her," said Bongino. Trump appointed Bongino at the Bureau in February. Bongino, before his career in conservative media, served in the New York Police Department and the Secret Service. In the media, he was an adept watchdog over the Department of Justice and FBI, especially on scandals such as Operation Crossfire Hurricane and the Jeffrey Epstein saga, which makes me wonder, will he be, when he's in the private sector, will he be discussing either of those, particularly the Jeffrey Epstein saga? He recently wrapped up one of his priorities for the FBI since coming into the deputy director role, identifying the suspected pipe bomber who planted bombs outside the Republican and Democratic headquarters. By the way, speaking of that guy, anybody heard about him lately? Anything? You heard about him in the news? Remember we said that now that he's not a white supremacist, nut job, Patriot Front motherfucker, the insurrectionist dude, that we would stop hearing about him, especially now that we know his kind of the background. He's a brother with a little bit of a, well, let's just put it this way. Ben Crump. We haven't heard shit about him lately, have we? Interesting. We'll wait till his trial, I guess. And then they start talking about how the department is roiled by controversies, et cetera, et cetera. So that article is from the Daily Wire. And then here's the actual post by Dan Bongino on X, the app formerly known as Twitter. It says, "I will be leaving my position with the FBI in January. I want to thank." I already read everything here is what he said. I already read it in the article. Now I'm fixing to just read some of the comments following this, because I'm sure there's some gold in here somewhere. So let's read the comments. Funny name, Shitty Sandwich. Is that the Dan Bongino's a funny name, Shitty Sandwich? What are you talking about? So Angela Belcamino. Now you ever see the chick, the bold lip chick? She does really, I didn't realize that bit. I thought she was actually this whacked out lib chick, but she's not so much. It was a bit. And she says, "Dan Bongino, what was the point of taking the job and leaving in less than a year? Mission accomplished?" Ooh, snap. I'm kind of thinking that too. I think is he disenchanted with some things? Jeff Charles, friend of the show, asker of questions, says, "Is it because of the racism you experienced from being the first black deputy FBI director?" So that's an ongoing bit by Jeff Charles, because Dan Bongino kind of looks like a brother if you look at him one way or the other way. And so Jeff Charles has been laughing, saying that, he's the first black deputy FBI director. Whatever. Bel Camino's a butterface. Oh, she is. Well, no, she's not even. No, because, you think she's. You think she looks good otherwise? I'm beg to differ. I mean, she's a butter face. She's a butter whole package, but she's funny as fuck. Anyway, 3-year Letterman, my favorite account on the internet, because it's the greatest parody account because so many people think it's real. Okay, says, "Dean, you are a Senate confirmed secretary. You don't get to leave your post until your 4-year term is up, or you are impeached." She's a 4. Well, no, she's a 5. And look, in my 1 to 10 scale, when I do that, when I have the nerve to give someone a 1 to scale score, 5 is average. She's a 5 with a bag on her head. So anyway, and actually she's just a straight up 5, because she's not ugly, but, well, you might think she's ugly. I don't know. she's just a normal human being, like most of us. Okay, not everyone can look like Fabio or Angelina Jolie in her prime, because right now she looks shitty. Anyway, you know what I'm saying. Anyway, okay, all right. Maze, I posted this in July back when I was saying that you should leave the FBI. If the FBI is a disaster, it's not Bongino's responsibility to fix it. He has already served his country. So are you saying he should be a coward and give up? No, it's not cowardice. He doesn't owe anybody anything. He especially doesn't owe anything to the people that have turned on him in less than 6 months on the job. Patel seems to want to do this job. I get the impression that Bongino doesn't enjoy it. If he's not happy and feels that he can make a bigger impact doing something else, then he should do it. Life is short. Family is pretty much all that matters. Oh my God. That was prophetic. That was very prophetic. So anyway, and the Savannah Hernandez, can't wait to hear you back behind the mic, Dan. And thank you for everything you did for all of us. So, Brian Cates, Brian, you're going to see every single person screaming for cash, Dan, Pam, et al. To be fired, step it up, because they're going to assume they just got their first scalp, and they're going to hang it on their fucking belts and show it off as they try to get more. Going to be a fun couple of weeks. Yeah, there you go. So, so mostly the people commenting are all people like Bongino ally type people. I don't see a whole bunch of the dickheads, posting shit about him. The FBI is corrupt and Pam Bondi is a joke who is not going to hold anyone accountable. Okay, I got that. Oh, the serfs. Now they're anti whatever you call it. Masterful gambit with the whole making a core part of your entire professional career about exposing the Epstein files, only get and cover them up. Oh, yeah, I don't know about that. I think he wants to get out and, whoa, Scott, how you doing, brother? MAGA forever, Proud Boys forever. Don't like it, get the fuck out. Move to a Muslim country or black. Well, I'm already black. I don't need to move, and I don't even disagree with what you said there. Look, I know what the Proud Boys really are. The myth that the Biden administration tried to make them, and the January 6th fucking prosecutors, complete bullshit. I know what they really are. I know how they started, and I know how it's funny because they tried to make them out to be this white supremacist group when they had nothing to do with that. It's hilarious. I mean, and then they tried to turn them into a terrorist group, and that's not it either. They just wanted to beat the fuck out of Antifa fuckers who were always fucking with people on the right. So, Scott, who is that? That's not Mr. Scott, is it? Is that our old Mr. Scott? Because I'm seeing ads instead of your username. So I wish they'd change it back on YouTube. Anyway, so there you go. But Dan Bongino's leaving. That was the point I was trying to make. How much time do I have? I'm okay. All right. All right, here's a couple of FTGs. Here, this is a big FTG. So, I don't know. There's some, I don't even know what this was. There was a Senate hearing, a confirmation hearing or whatever. And apparently, they're saying that these nominees dodged the question, was the U.S. Capitol attacked on January 6th? So here's Richard Blumenthal, the stolen valor guy, claimed he was in Vietnam when he never was. Excuse me. And he's questioning them, and he's not happy with their answers. Oh, it is Mr. Scott. Okay, what's up? Nice to have you back. Or no, mate. Is that thumbs up for me, my question, or what I just said? Anyway, here we go.
The state's capital attacked on January 6th,
the question was the state capital attacked on January 26, 2021. Whatever.
And again, Senator, as a sitting judge under Rule 2 of the Missouri Rules of Judicial Ethics, I believe that there are cases pending in front of courts.
These are judges. So, yeah, they can't answer that question if there's cases pending anyway.
So due to pending or impending litigation, I cannot comment on anything of political controversy.
I'm not asking you about a specific individual.
You're asking about a political controversy.
Was the Capitol attack?
And again, I do believe that there are cases currently in front of courts. And so as a sitting judge under Rule 2, I cannot answer.
Mr. Lee?
Same answer, and I would add that as an employee of the Department of Justice, I would refer to the Department of Justice's positions and briefs.
Mr. Olson?
Senator, the January 6 events are a matter of public controversy and debate on how to characterize those, and I think to wade into that robust public...
Tell me what your characterization is of those events.
Well, individuals entered the Capitol, and some of them were charged, and there were cases that arose as a result of those events.
So you agree that the Capitol was attacked?
Well, Senator, the qualitative characterization, I think, of what happened and how it's been referred to by various individuals is debated, and I think to weigh in on that would be improper.
Okay, so they avoid the question in a way, and I'm sure the other guy does too. So now that's not the point I was going to make, because it's FTG Thursday, and I have a perfect FTG to follow up with this. Andy Kim, I don't know who he is. What does Andy Kim do? Andy Kim is New Jersey senator. Oh, he's the senator from New Jersey, public servant and dad, whatever. He's a Democrat senator. Posted this. Listen carefully, because you're gonna be like, these nominees are cowards, just plain and simple cowards. A Capitol police officer was killed protecting the Capitol. Say this to Officer Sicknick's family. Shameful. Excuse me for a moment. FTG Andy Kim lying through your teeth. This is some gaslighting, motherfuckers. And I said, when I say this is something professional gaslighting edition, this is some pro level gaslighting. You know damn well Brian Sicknick did not die protecting the Capitol. He had a stroke the next day evening, had nothing to do with the fucking Capitol. So that's just a straight up lie. And look, the replies to this are golden too. Is Candy Kim's post misinformation or disinformation? Now, if you listen to the definition of those, misinformation is just information that's wrong, but disinformation is misinformation on purpose. And he's lying his ass off. You are a filthy liar. Brian Sicknick, cause of death, acute brainstem and cerebral infarcts due to acute basilar artery thrombosis. Anyway, stroke. Lying to the American people again, Andy, disgraceful. And just up and down the line. In fact, here's the article from Law Officer. The truth behind U.S. Capitol Police officers Brian Sicknick's death, yet another false narrative of the left. If you want to read the whole article. You all know Andy's lying you lying your ass off. I wish I had that. Well, here, let me do this one.
Why the fuck you lying?
Yeah, you're lying.
You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier.
Motherfucker, you lying your ass off. So anyway, FTG Andy Kim. The World Professional Association of Transgender Health is in the news, or in the what you call it? Is a trending topic. Apparently, I think the Trump administration has ended funding of something because they lying about. Here it is. Oh, here it is. Well, here's the post. It's widely known that Richard Levine, aka what's her name? What do he call himself? Dr. Rachel Levine, whatever, the former. It's so funny because it's like the associate something health secretary, but they made her an admiral, like, of some sort. So he's always running around in a military uniform skirt. Pressured the World Professional Association of Transgender Health to agree to remove age minimums for child sex rejecting surgeries, but actually pressure from the American Academy of Pediatrics that tipped the scales and pushed WPATH to finally take action. The AAP is deeply committed to gender ideology as a legal team committed to fighting child sex rejection bans. They submitted briefs around the country in support of child accessing puberty blockers, hormones, and surgeries. Glad to see HHS is refusing to fund what has become a transgender activist organization. So the American Academy of Pediatrics loses its HHS funding. Now they say after criticizing JFK. Yeah, no. First of all, why is the American Association of Pediatrics getting federal funding anyway? Oh, do they do research and shit? Well, this says HHS cuts key AAP grants, citing concerns about identity-based language and insufficient focus on agency priorities. The organization said the cuts could harm child health. Why? Are doctors going to stop doing their jobs because the kind of a trade group for pediatrics isn't getting grants from the federal government? How so? So, and if there's a couple good ones here, like Billboard Chris posted this on the 17th. As revealed in the WPATH files, doctors admit to sterilizing kids, destroying sexual function, and even transitioning children with schizophrenia and dissociative disorders. One doctor said, I was wondering if there's been any difficulty with the system agreeing to transitioning medically, especially given that that not all the alters have the same gender identity. This doctor is saying not all alternative personalities have the same gender identity. So there's a full video there. You can watch that yourself. But so anyway, a lot of people talking about the World Professional Association of Transgender. I should say it should be WPATA, not WPATH. It should be World Professional Association of Transgender Activism, because it's not about health. So anyway, I can't wait till all the lawsuits against these trans pushers. Oh yeah, look, a lot of this shit probably is going to go the way of the lobotomy. In 50 years, we'll be like, what the fuck were we thinking? Because there's just, the evidence is so scant. By the way, good morning, Unacceptable Views. My other favorite Canadian, and Renee Mayette is here. Hello. So anyway, FTG, WPATH. Fuck those guys. Okay, next. Oh, by the way, also, I have an article from the Daily Caller kind of related to this. I got to get to Tim Walz, though. You got to get to Tim Walz. So I'll do that next. Here's a small band of pediatricians pushed medical organization into nixing age minimum for sex changes. So this is what this is about. A handful of pediatricians who perform sex change procedures on children led a successful pressure campaign to push major transgender medical organization to remove age minimums for life-altering sex change surgeries from its clinical guidelines, according to emails exclusively obtained by the Daily Caller. Emails reveal the American Academy of Pediatrics. This is the organization that's losing government grants. Hey, what's up? Been a long time. What up? Emails revealed the American Academy of Pediatrics asked just 4 doctors, all of whom are considered leaders in the field of pediatric sex changes and have performed various transgender procedures, to review and provide feedback on an embargoed copy of the World Professional Association of Transgender Health's clinical guidance called the Standards of Care version 8, weeks before its expected publication. Now, based on the just four doctors review, 4 doctors who perform these surgeries review, the AAP strong-armed the World Professional Association of Transgender Health into removing sex change surgery age minimums from the Standards of Care 8. And now remember, the World Professional Association of Transgender Health actually kind of fought this idea, because if you watch some of their meetings, they have some of their meetings online, and they were even themselves saying, well, we're finding out that some of these things aren't necessarily good for kids, so we should probably cool our jets on this shit. But for some reason, the American Association of Pediatrics was pushing them to change their guidelines, and everyone uses their guidelines. They're just an activist group of pediatric transgender doctors. So when the AAP asked just 4 pediatricians, John Rafferty, Ilana Shearer, Juanita Hodax, and Brittany Allen, to review the Standards of Care 8 on the organization's behalf in 2022, Rafferty, Shearer, and Allen were on the leadership team of the AAP's section on LGBT wellness and health, a group within the AAP that provides the organization with expertise and education on LGBT issues. So their own, the pediatricians are in their organization, also double dealing basically by being the advisors on this. The Biden-Harris administration also pressured the World Professional Association of Transgender Health to remove sex change surgery age limits from their clinical guidance, according to records made public by Alabama Attorney General Steve Marshall while defending Alabama's law restricting pediatric sex change procedures. In an amicus brief submitted by the upcoming Supreme Court case United States versus Skermetti, Marshall explains that the Department of Health and Human Services Assistant Secretary for Health Rachel Levine, who is openly transgender, yeah, obviously, because holy shit, he looks like a dude in a dress. Anyway, had unsuccessfully pressured WPATH to remove the surgical age minimums, but the pressure from the American Association of Pediatrics tipped the scales, causing WPATH to remove the child sex change surgery age minimums. Quote, thanks to the Biden administration and AAP, the Standards of Care 8 does not contain age minimums for any transitioning hormonal or surgical intervention. No age limits for even the surgical stuff. Except for one, phalloplasty, the surgical recreation of a neopenis. So other than that, cut them titties off, it could remove the breast tissue, invert a penis, no age limit. Now, WPATH considers all other surgeries and interventions medically necessary gender-affirming medical treatments in adolescents. Oh, do they? They didn't before you pressured them into doing that. In August 2022, after securing an embargoed copy of WPATH's clinical guidelines, AAP State Government Affairs Analyst Jeffrey Hudson asked the pediatricians to review how the guidance aligned with current AAP policy. Rafferty was the lead author of the AAP's, this is American Association of Pediatrics, controversial child sex change policy first published in 2018 that supported the use of puberty blockers, cross-sex hormones, and sex change surgeries for minors. Reaffirmed in 2023, the AAP's transgender policy notably excluded age minimums for drug or surgical interventions. This is bullshit. Hello, Lindsay. What's up? This is bullshit. Bullshit. Hudson stressed the importance of reviewing the Standards of Care 8 before its publication, noting it would have implications for their existing legal arguments as they fought state bans on child sex change interventions in court. Quote, I explained our position and reasoning behind securing access to the SOAK. I'll just call it the SOAK 8, Standards of Care 8, SOAK 8. Before its publication, and WPATH agreed that AAP and AAP chapters are leading the fight to protect access to this care at the state level and needs to be prepared as possible. This is not even scientifically based either. It is not, oh my God, they still don't have, the only long-term studies are the ones done in Sweden. You have the CAS review, there's a whole bunch of, cumulative reviews that say this is not the right thing to do. And in the United States, where this is still somewhat new compared to some of these other places that are banning it, they're all gung-ho about it. It's fucked up. It's fucked up. It's fucked up. I'm just telling you. There's a whole lot more in this story, but you get the point. So that's why they're trending today. All right, now, let's get to my governor, Tim Walz, and his latest bullshit. Okay, because it's never ending. I'm just telling you, it is never ending. And when I saw this post yesterday, this particular one, and it'll be in the list here, I was like, what the fresh fuck is this about? He writes on, and by the way, yesterday we talked about all the distracting things that he's trying to do. They want to talk about anything but the fraud cases. But all of a sudden, he mentions one of the fraud, something to do with fraud. Okay? So here it is. He says, this is outrageous. I expect my Republican colleagues to attack me in an election year, but to actively cover up fraud in an attempt to further a political agenda is beyond the pale. This needs to be resolved immediately. And again, remember how I told you how local media in the Twin Cities here is going to spin anything they can in the governor's favor, because they're complicit in anything that the DFL, Democrat Farmer Labor Party, does here. KSTP, the local Channel 5 station, headlines an article like this, quote, House Fraud Committee withholding whistleblower tips from DHS investigators, Department of Health Services. Now, tips to fraud committee not passed to DHS. If you're familiar with this story, there have been a lot of whistleblowers in the state government who have been sounding the alarm about this, all these different fraud type of cases, right? And some of the whistleblowers have gotten huge blowback from the governor's office and other people in state government. They've been getting harassed. They've been getting retaliated against. And so they've been trying to keep themselves under the radar, but still be able to be whistleblowers. And so apparently here, let me here's how KSTP puts. I'll put the article up because he's full of shit. I mean, the idea that he has the nerve to say anything about actively covering up fraud is, what do I call it? Professional gaslighting. Professional grade gaslighting. Because he himself and his office and his attorney general and all the Democrats who've been told about this for over a year have been covering it up. But here's the article from KSTP. House Fraud Committee withholding whistleblower tips from DHS investigators. Representative Kristen Robin, chair of the Minnesota House Fraud Prevention and State Agency Oversight Policy Committee, shared on Wednesday that whistleblower tips that come to GOP leadership have not been forwarded to the Department of Human Services. Wow, I wonder why people in the Department of Human Services who are whistleblowers weren't having their tips passed on to the Department of Human Services, because they were getting retaliated against. They're making it like that's the scandal here. It's fucking insane. Instead, Robbins said they're being sent to other investigators, including the U.S. Attorney's Office. Oh, good idea. Good idea. Yes, that's what you do. You send them to people who aren't going to retaliate against you and can investigate the fraud. Quote, and this is what Robbins said. To date, we have not, because there's no trust, said Robbins, a Republican from Maple Grove. They've had the power to investigate for at least 7 years longer, and the whistleblowers come to me after they've already been to the department, after they've already been to the attorney general, and they've been generally ghosted. The House Fraud Prevention Committee, which has a Republican majority, set up a new whistleblower hotline earlier this year. Robbins said there are hundreds of tips that have been received through the hotline. When I get credible allegations of fraud from whistleblowers, we meet with them, we interview them, we ferret out as much as possible. If Chair Rob, and then now here's another quote from a Democrat. If Chair Robbins has in fact uncovered legitimate concerns of fraud, a claim for which there is no evidence, then her top priority should have been to get them investigated and, if warranted, get payment stopped, said Representative Dave Pinto, DFL of St. Paul. Her deliberate choice instead to prioritize political theater and let funds keep flowing is another example of her choosing to put her partisan political ambitions above all the Minnesota taxpayers. That sounds like a statement a consultant wrote. That's a bullshit statement. And they have been passing them on to federal investigators. And after the committee meeting on Wednesday, 5 Eyewitness News asked Minnesota DHS Inspector General James Clark, who is tasked with stopping fraud in taxpayer-funded safety net programs, about the tips not being shared with his office. Oh, get the vapors about it. Quote, I want to work in partnership with anybody that is serious about tackling these issues, Clark said. If you have evidence I can use to stop payments going to fraudsters, I would like that information. Well, you failed for the last 7 fucking years. Did I say that out loud? I didn't mean to get emotional or anything. So anyway, so we come down here. I think here's the hearing, and here's Robin speaking. Here's the full clip that of what was actually said.
Thank you. I'd like to respond to that. So we did receive your letter, Inspector General, asking us to share information with you on credible whistleblower reports. And to date, we have not, because there is no trust, as you might understand.
Ding.
This fraud has been perpetuated on your watch, and the whistleblowers who reach out to us within the department are terrified, and they feel that they've been retaliated against already. They feel that they are very afraid. They're afraid to reach out to us. And if they thought we were then turning around and giving it to you, we would not have whistleblowers. So we initiated a whistleblower portal last spring in response to people who were afraid to come to you, and that has received hundreds of tips. Belatedly, you all also put out a whistleblower report portal this fall, which I think hopefully is also generating
All of a sudden,
tips.
now that they're getting the lights being shined on them, said, "Oh, well, we're going to give out a whistleblower tip line," after they've been retaliating to prior whistleblowers.
But when I get credible allegations of fraud from whistleblowers, we meet with them, we interview them, we ferret it out as much as possible. But as you know, legislators do not have access to bank records, health records, subpoena power, the SWIFT payment system that the state uses to pay things. So I can only get an investigation so far. But when we get it, we go to the U.S. Attorney, the FBI, and the Office of Legislative
Good.
Auditor,
Do not
who
go.
have access to all those records.
Do not
So
go
our
to our
whistleblowers
state.
are being protected, and they are also being reviewed for further investigation. And I would like to have a more collaborative relationship with you, but I have to say, if whistleblowers thought we were turning everything over to you,
Somnambul
it
Nation.
would stop.
Okay, Somnambul Nation. It has received hundreds of tips, like your mom. Oh yeah. Oh, that shit's funny. Okay, so there, yeah. The reason they're not talking to you, dickhead, is because you're part of the department that is retaliating against them. So it's interesting here. The Minnesota Staff Fraud Reporting commentary line says, "We will not be silenced by threats, retaliation, or by Tim Walz. Fraud needs to stop no matter how Tim Walz threatens us. Ethical Minnesota state employees." So there's employees in the Minnesota, they have their own little comment line out here telling, oh, here's another one. He says, this is outrageous. This is outrageous. Tim Walz retaliates against whistleblowers. Then he acts all upset when his administration has covered up fraud. Go away, fucker. They didn't say fucker, but I did. FTG, Tim Walz. Again. And I don't know how, it's going to be interesting the next election to see if this state finally says, "Ah!" and gets rid of his ass. State DHS employees, Walz 100% responsible for massive fraud in Minnesota. Tim Walz is threatening whistleblowers. We do not feel safe. That's why they're not talking to anyone that they, anyone has to do with it. So that's why Tim Walz is trending today. I got a handful of other articles out here, but I'm only going to do two more. Yeah, well, two more related fraud. But I didn't, by the way, did anyone watch the president's address last night? Everyone thought he was going to announce a war with Venezuela, and he just talked about how great he is. Hello, Justine Ellison. How you doing? How you doing there? So anyway, this is from the Daily Water. Minnesota is currently paying an indicted Somali fraudster to run assisted living homes. Oh, fan-fucking-tastic. A man awaiting trial for his alleged role in the nation's largest COVID scam is to this day billing the government millions of dollars for dubious services. The man indicted in the Feeding Our Future scandal, in which Somali nationals billed the government to provide millions of non-existent meals to the needy, is currently operating multiple assisted living homes in which adults live and receive on-demand services at a taxpayer's expense. What? How is this guy not in jail? That according to Minnesota lawmaker Kirsten Robin, a Republican who chairs the House Fraud Prevention and State Oversight Policy Committee, which was set up in response to more than $1 billion of fraud in roughly the last 6 years. So this is that Kirsten? No, that's Minnesota Health Commissioner Brooke Cunningham. Anyway, the person is Gandhi Yusuf Muhammad, who later changed his name to Gandhi Abdi Khadijeh. Oh, so he changed his name and they thought, oh, this is a totally different person. He kind of looks like that Muhammad guy, but his name's Khadijeh. In February 2024, this person was indicted and charged for $1.1 million in money laundering and Feeding Our Future. Robin said at a hearing, this person was paid an additional $49 million for other state programs between 2019 and 2024. This person will have their trial in 2026. The suspected fraudster donated the maximum permitted campaign contribution of $2,500 to Minnesota's Democrat Attorney General Keith Ellison, according to a 2024 Minnesota Reformer article. That article quoted a Republican lawmaker explicitly calling on state authorities to review his contracts. Yet he continued to operate. The Federal Department of Justice said that Muhammad's brother was also a part of the Feeding Our Future scheme. Robin said her tiny committee, with only one researcher using public documents, had found evidence of a sprawling fraud scheme that Walz administration and Ellison had apparently done nothing to stop. The inaction raises questions about how many safety net programs are being exploited in the state and whether Minnesota's Democratic Governor Tim Walz has taken even basic steps to stop fraud. I'm going to guess no. I'm going to guess the answer is no, he hasn't. I'm just spitballing here, but I'm guessing no. And the fact that he is running assisted living facilities? I thought he was charged and he was indicted and charged. Oh, but his trial doesn't come till 2026. I'm curious if these assisted living facilities even really exist, or if he's billing shit to them too. This is unbelievable. Read the rest of the article, and then the last one I wanted to go over was this one. Oh no, that's not it. Oh, here it is. This is the one I want. So one of my favorite senators, John Kennedy, no relation to the. Where are the Kennedys from? The other Kennedys? They're from Massachusetts, right? Right? The Boston Kennedy. Anyway, he's no relation to them. let's just get that out of the way because you know that. Anyway, he reveals damning Minnesota AG office memo on Somali fraud. Our Attorney General Keith Ellison, we showed you the guys talking to him the other day. Oh, money is money drives everything. What he said. Remember that? Americans were stunned last month to learn that members of Minnesota's Somali community had scammed state taxpayers out of $100 million. Perhaps even billions of dollars, which now we know it's billions. The question on everyone's mind, how did this go undetected for so long? Senator John Kennedy, Republican from Louisiana, may have provided the answer in remarks delivered earlier this month that have only recently come to the media's attention. It's always entertaining. Let's see. Please tell me they got video. I don't even want it. I want to see video because he's funny when he talks. Anyway, he says the always entertaining senator from Louisiana read a particularly damning portion of an internal memo written by a fraud investigator from the Minnesota Attorney General's office. Kennedy told his colleagues that those benefiting from the Feeding Our Future program, by the way, one of them is Keith Ellison because they maxed out donations to Keith Ellison. They said, one of the those benefiting from the Feeding Our Future program, quote, went to the state and said, if you stop giving us money, we're going to call you racist and we're going to sue you, and you don't want to be in the news. Well, why didn't the employees do something? They did. They told the people higher up, the people with the flags in their office. And you know what they did? Nothing. You know why? Here's what the legislative auditor in Minnesota said, quote, he said that the threat of litigation and the negative press affected how the state politicians used their regulatory power because they did not want to be called racist. Stop racist! Here's what the fraud investigator in the Attorney General's office said. She said, quote, there is a perception that, I'm quoting now, that forcefully tackling the issue would cause political backlash from the Somali community, which is a core voting bloc for Democrats. Aww.
Your life makes me sad.
Senator John Kennedy reads the internal memo from the Minnesota Attorney General's office. They openly say they did not stop the Somalis immigrants from fraud because Democrats would lose votes and money. They got a shit ton of money from the Somali community. Here's what a fraud investigator in the Attorney General's office said. She said, okay, we read that already. So anyway, oh, here, is it in here? Let's see if it's in here. Let's see if there's a tweet here of him reading it. Because I would rather hear him read it than me just say it. Okay, well, okay, we're going to finish with this. Thank you, Adam Tyler. Oh my gosh, another 26 in the tip jar. Greatly appreciated. And you are, now you are again,
you are
the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. Only message is, what's up, dog? What's up, Alan? What up? All right, here it is. Here's John Kennedy reading this.
Feeding Our Futures went to the state and said, if you stop giving us this money, we're going to call you racist and we're going to sue you. And you don't want to be in the news. Mm-hmm. Now,
I don't need the music.
And you say, well, why didn't the employees do something? They did. They told the people higher up, the people with the flags in their office. And you know what they did?
You know what? It's funny. So listening to him say it, I mean, I could hear it in my head when I was reading it, sounding like John Kennedy, but it's so much more, it's just so much, it has so much more feeling when he reads it himself. You know what I mean?
Legislative auditor in Minnesota said. He said that the threat of litigation and the negative press affected how the state politicians use their regulatory power. And here's what a fraud investigator in the Attorney General's office said. She said, there is a perception that, I'm quoting now, that forcefully tackling this issue would cause political backlash from the Somali community, which is a core voting bloc for Democrats.
Anyway, you get the idea. So that's crazy. If you ask me, that's crazy that there's actually a paper trail on this. That tells you why it wasn't prosecuted. So there's a bunch of articles besides this in the, in all the shit that I send you guys. So I highly encourage you to read it. In fact, I so highly encourage you to read it that I'm about to drop a link. Here are today's links. Bam! And there you go. So that's it. All right, I got to go. Thanks for joining me today on the Morning Night Live. I'm here Monday through Friday, sometime between 9 and 9:30 my time, which would be 10 o'clock Eastern, and kind of, whenever I get here on time. But anyway, I'm here mostly on every day except for Saturday and Sunday. And so there you go. Oh, I didn't hit send, did I? There you go. There's the links. And that's it. Tomorrow, today's FTG Thursday. Tomorrow's Free for All Friday. If you have articles, give them to me tomorrow. And if you, we'll have Friday Q&A, which is everyone's favorite part of the week. Because I don't know. I haven't figured out why people even like that, but it's, everyone likes it. So there you go. All right, that's it. I got to go. Have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow. My name's PDawgKnight, and I am out of here. Bye-bye. Click.
Hey, this is PDawgKnight, and
Thank you for watching today on the PDawgKnight Channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comments section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterward so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through the Streamlabs link, which is also in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm PDawgKnight, and I'm out of here.